Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Wuthering Waves. In today's video, we are going to talk about JIYAN and YINLIN, and you guys might be wondering which unit you should go for. Should you save up for YINLIN or should you summon for JIYAN? And that's what I'm pretty much going to talk about in today's video. But before I do so, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't. I really appreciate it. It will really help me a lot if you guys can like this video. And let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and hop right into the video. So if we take a look right here, there is a Wuthering Waves tier list. So this is a website, and this website is pretty good. So as you guys can see, YINLIN is an SS tier alongside with Verena, and JIYAN is an S tier. So we're going to go ahead and explain the reason behind that. So when we take a look at JIYAN, right? JIYAN is going to be like your main DPS unit. And what he's mostly going to do is he's mostly going to, spam a bunch of heavy attacks, because as you guys can see, for his basic attack, he has like 3 different versions of heavy attack. And we're going to be in the honeymoon phase in Wuthering Waves. Like 1.0 is always the honeymoon phase, and that's where things are going to be very difficult, because you're going to have a lot of 4-star characters, but you're not going to have a lot of 5-star characters. And that's when you're going to mostly spend your time focusing on grinding mats, trying to build up your characters, trying to level up your characters. You have to fight a lot of bosses, and that's when you really want a unit that can do a lot of damage. And JIYAN is honestly a really strong unit to deal some pretty good damage overall. So basically, JIYAN, main DPS unit. Now when we take a look at his best team comp, so like I said, he is a unit that really has high heavy attack damage. And the unit that can pretty much work well with JIYAN is Mortify, because Mortify can pretty much buff heavy attack because of his outro skill. So you want to use Mortify with JIYAN so that Mortify can buff his heavy attack damage. And you also want to use Verena so that Verena can also buff his attack and damage as well. And you have Baiji, who's going to heal, which is really nice overall. So the best team comp for JIYAN is Mortify, Verena, and Baiji. That's like the best team comp that you guys can use. And of course, you have 2 different options, but I feel like Alto really isn't a really good unit, but Mortify can really benefit JIYAN overall. So if we take a look right here, it says the main damage type of JIYAN is heavy attack damage. Mortify's outro skill provides heavy attack damage deepen, making Mortify the best teammate for JIYAN. Additionally, Mortify has off-field coordinated attacks, offering substantial output compared to other sub DPS options. So Mortify can not only buff up JIYAN's damage, Mortify can also deal off-field damage, which is really nice. So let's say you're using JIYAN, he's doing damage. Mortify is also going to deal some damage even if you're not using him at the moment. So Mortify is top sub DPS unit for JIYAN. And of course, they have other information for other characters like Sinhua and Alto. And it says both Verena and Baiji are healers that can provide all types damage deepen and attack percent increase to teammates, while Verena is more comprehensive, that her buff is longer and Verena can protect a party member from fatal damage every 10 minutes. Let's not forget that Verena can literally prevent your allies from getting one-shotted. So let's say JIYAN is about to take a lot of damage. Well, Verena is going to prevent JIYAN from dying from a fatal attack. But you do have to remember that this fatal damage that she can prevent from your allies, it can only occur every 10 minutes. So the cooldown is very long, but the fact that she can prevent your allies from taking a lot of damage from basically taking fatal damage, Verena is an awesome unit to have. So when I take a look at JIYAN, I feel like JIYAN is a strong DPS unit. You don't really need his weapon, you don't really need his weapon in order for him to work. You can literally use the Lustrous Razor, and I'm pretty sure they are going to give us a 5-star selection chest where you can choose which 5-star weapon you want. So I'm pretty sure the Lustrous Razor is going to be in that 5-star selection chest. So you can use this weapon to make JIYAN stronger. And we also have substats here that you can focus on, which is crit rate, crit damage, attack, heavy attack damage, and etc. So it's really obvious that JIYAN is going to be, of course, main DPS unit. But when it comes to team comps, I feel like JIYAN, without Mortify, he won't be able to deal some insane heavy attack damage. So he's really a unit where you have to put him in a specific team comp in order for him to be very strong. So that is pretty much JIYAN. Now, when we take a look at YINLIN, YINLIN is SS tier. And this is the reason why she's SS tier. Now, when it comes to YINLIN, YINLIN is going to play as your sub DPS character. And the reason why is because she can buff electro damage by 20%. And she can buff, I'm pretty sure if we come down over to her outro skill, she can buff resonance liberation damage by like 25% for 14 seconds. This is going to be very good for a DPS unit called Caltro. Caltro is a electro DPS unit, and YINLIN can really benefit Caltro with that 20% electro damage buff and resonance as well. So these two units, they're going to work perfectly together alongside with Verena and Baiji. So when we compare YINLIN to JIYAN, the thing about YINLIN is I feel like she's going to be a unit that's going to enable a future main DPS electro units. So let's say in version 1.3 we're going to have another main electro DPS unit. Well, you're going to need YINLIN to pretty much increase that main electro DPS unit's potential because she has that 20% electro damage buff and the resonance liberation buff as well. So I feel like she's definitely going to be a necessity for future electro DPS units, and I see that as more of a necessity versus a unit like JIYAN, who's just your main DPS unit, and you already have units like Mortify who's going to buff him. I feel like for JIYAN, you're mostly focusing on one team comp, which is Mortify, Verena alongside with Baiji, versus YINLIN. She's going to work in multiple team comps because she's going to enable electro DPS units, and she's going to pretty much work well with Verena and Baiji. So YINLIN, it seems like YINLIN is definitely going to be like a universal electro sub DPS unit because, like I said, she is going to buff main DPS characters. And when we also take a look at the banners, so I want to talk about the banners real quick. Now, the good thing about JIYAN's banner is Mortify is going to be on JIYAN's banner, so that is already a win. So if you're trying to go for JIYAN, you're going to get some copies of Mortify, which is going to be very, very good overall. Now, for YINLIN's banner, I will say that her banner is extremely mid. None of these units will work well with her. So if we were to compare, which banner is better, I will say that JIYAN's banner is 10 times better because you have Mortify in his banner, and Mortify is going to basically increase JIYAN's potential and his damage. So yeah, if we're comparing two banners, YINLIN's banner is complete dog water compared to JIYAN's banner because you can already get this guy for free. This dude with the blue hair, you can get him for free. So I really don't see the point of YINLIN's her like the 4-star characters in her banner, but I still feel like YINLIN is a better option. So in conclusion, if you're trying to go for JIYAN, I feel like JIYAN is a very, very strong main DPS unit, and there's nothing wrong if you go for him. He is a very strong unit and he can really carry you far in the game. But if we're comparing two characters, I feel like YINLIN is a far better option because she can enable a future electro DPS units compared to JIYAN. He can't really enable, future upcoming arrow units. So yeah, both characters really amazing. If you still want to go for JIYAN, by all means go ahead. At the end of the day, the game is all about having fun, but if you want to have an optimized, strong free-to-play account, I feel like YINLIN is a really, really good unit due to the fact that she can work well with Caltro, who is a strong electro unit. She can just work in multiple team comps, and I feel like for JIYAN, he's gonna have to be in a team that specifically, like, he's gonna have to be in a team where characters have to benefit him. Like, if you don't have a sub DPS character that's going to buff up JIYAN's damage and potential, then that character is basically useless. Meanwhile, YINLIN, she will always be a useful character. She will always be useful in every single electro team comp because of that electro damage bonus and the resonance bonus as well. So both characters very strong. If you go for JIYAN, really good. If you go for YINLIN, still good. So it really depends on who you want to go for, but me personally, I feel like YINLIN is the best option overall. So that's pretty much all I have for you guys in this video. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't. I really appreciate it, and I hope this video was able to help you guys out. And if you guys have any more thoughts, any opinions, please share it in the comment section down below. It will really help me a lot. But I hope you all have a good one, and I'll be catching you guys on the next one. Peace.